How do you look so young? What's your secret?
Hairline. Like.
This went way too far. Listen closely. The platform TikTok has a much darker side to it that you were never aware of. And these secrets could change our lives as we know it. But lately, there's been nobody exploring this side of TikTok except for me. And you're coming with me. Yes, you don't get scared now. You clicked on the video. You know what you signed up for. So make sure you watch till the end of the video so you can find out the truth. And don't watch alone because this is going to get terrifying. What's even scarier than the TikToks we're about to watch today is the fact that 75% of you guys are not subscribed to the channel. So make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe for more scary videos. Thank you.
Bro, squatters have hit the absolute jackpot after managing to take over an entire Spanish resort. All of the 92 suites are now occupied, and the owners still legally have to pay gas and electricity. This is Callao Sport Hotel on the popular holiday island of Tenerife. And about 10 months ago, it was broken into by a group of 12 what they call mafia squatters. What a name. And they've essentially refused to leave ever since. And they are now even renting out rooms as if they own it. And as a result of this, the crowd living there is now risen to about 200 people. Bro, the Christmas rave they're about to have is going to be outrageous. But you're probably wondering, how the hell is this possible? Well, Spain is renowned for having very strict tenant protection laws, especially when it comes to evictions. So the actual procedure to have someone removed from your property can be very lengthy and very difficult. In fact, the owners say that the bills they now have to pay per month is about 6,000 euros. They say that is triple of what they were paying when this resort was operational because of how many people live there. But the squatters, on the other hand, they're also blaming the government for this. They are saying that authorities have long neglected locals in favor of benefiting tourists. And because of that, house prices have reportedly risen to about 80% in the last decade in the region. So they claim that they can no longer afford rent, so they just kind of go wherever they need to. Now, after a year of litigation back and forth, a court has finally ordered the eviction of the squatters within 30 days. So I guess we'll see if they actually leave.
I don't understand how people could wake up one day and be like, all right, I'm gonna take over your house and there's nothing you can do about it. If you walk into my house and say, yo, I'm gonna live here and there's nothing you can do about it, I'm going to pick you up and throw you off the second story. Because what do you mean you're gonna live in my house and there's nothing I can do about it?
People are still refusing to buy Butterball turkeys for Thanksgiving this year because of last year's incident. To be honest, I am not surprised. As all of you likely know, last year a bunch of employees that work for Butterball decided to have not family-friendly fun with the turkeys before they were sold. After that information was revealed to the public, everyone stopped buying Butterball turkeys, everyone started to return the Butterball turkeys that they bought, and now this year they are just sitting on the shelves. No one is buying them once again. They are the last turkeys there at all these stores because no one wants anything to do with them, and rightfully so. And I'm curious to know your thoughts about all this.
I mean, fair enough. I don't think anybody wants someone diddying their turkey. And it's going to take a lot to get rid of this reputation. What are you going to do? Make a commercial saying, but guys, our employees stopped making love with our turkeys so you can buy them now. Like, oh yeah, I really trust you after the first incident.
The following video of Obama giving a speech looked normal at first, but later people noticed a very strange man standing in front of the stage. He was part of the security team, and his movements looked far too jerky. His head kept flicking side to side in sharp, repetitive motions, almost like an animal scanning its surroundings. Even his facial features also looked unusually sharp, almost inhuman. It raised the question that what if, in order to protect someone so powerful, they used beings that weren't human? Maybe that reptilian figure was placed there to sense things we couldn't. Now, it's time for the most shocking reptilian caught on camera. As you've seen before, most of these strange clips always seem to involve those with the most power over, and this time, it's none other than Donald Trump. During an event, his eyes seemed to shift. The lens changed completely as he blinked, almost like it morphed in real time. But it didn't stop there. On another day, his entire face appeared to shift for a brief second, before snapping back to normal. The next one is even more shocking. Here, his pupil looked vertical, just like a reptilian's eye.
The CIA recently declassified a book that says all of humanity will soon be wiped out in a global cataclysm. The book is called The Adam and Eve Story. Part 1 and 2 blew my mind and they're up in my profile. What really trips me out is that the events outlined in this book actually gives reasonable explanations to history's greatest mysteries, such as Antarctica, the lost city of Atlantis, the pyramids all around the world, Stonehenge, Easter Island, the forgotten Pacific continent of Mu, the list goes on. And virtually every religion in ancient folklore and history talks of a catastrophe that resets the entire world. Like the famous Noah's Ark, the hurricane flood of the Mayans, the Sumerians had the flooding Gilgamesh, and all written completely independent of each other and all prophesizing that it will happen again, aka Judgment Day. Same goes for the legends of the pyramids and all these ancient structures all around the world. Each of these cultures have an almost identical story of some greater being coming down and building these monuments for them, despite these ancient civilizations being tens of thousands of kilometers apart and never coming into contact with each other. Not a single one of them actually taking credit for these incredible achievements themselves. I don't know about you, but if I was some great civilization that built something as incredible as the pyramids, I would definitely want to be flexing on everyone about it. But these stories of the pyramids and worldwide floods, remnants of our advanced ancestors passed on to the stone age of the next civilization of humans. And again, the book that outlines these events has been dismissed by everyone.
Oh, they're so sweet. I love how they're just trying to kill each and every one of us until there's nothing left besides them and slaves. That's so sweet. I don't know if it's just me, but I think the CIA loves us. Can't you tell? Or is love in the air?
Morbid Facts, Part 821. Donald Glover has revealed that he secretly suffered a stroke while on tour in 2024, collapsing with severe head pain and blurred vision before doctors in Houston told him what had happened. Medical scans then uncovered something even more horrifying, a hidden hole in his heart that required multiple surgeries, while he was also dealing with a broken foot and crushing exhaustion. The combination led to a cascade of health failures that didn't just threaten his tour, they nearly killed him. After months of treatment and recovery, Glover says he's stable now and finally healthy again. In 2002, 21-year-old Angela Walker and her brother attacked 32-year-old Canadian tourist Derek Rogers on a beach in Maine, reportedly knocking him unconscious and stuffing sand into his airways until he suffocated. Walker later lied to police about what had happened, before pleading guilty to manslaughter and perjury and receiving 10 years in prison. More than 2 decades later, in 2025, she was elected to the Bangor City Council, an outcome that drew outrage from the Rogers family and revived public attention towards the brutal killing.
No, because this world is sick and is going to hell in a handbasket. Do y'all know about Nickelodeon and their popular slime? Have y'all heard why? The reasons why? I'm gonna be honest, when I found this out, even like putting this video together, tough. These people are sick and twisted demons, dude. Do y'all know that the reason why they made the specific slime for Nickelodeon, that green color, does it ring any bells to y'all? That green color, that green screen color. Do y'all know why they made it that? And they would be obsessed with pouring slime all over kids on Disney, especially in the early 2000s, in this era, the 2010s. I'll tell you why. It's because when you put something or someone in front of a green screen, you can change that whole effect. You can change the background, you can change, or even if like somebody's like wearing pants and then you put like a small green screen cover over it, you can put anything in that place that you want. And so slime is a really thick, weird substance, and they pour it over these children and they make it a green screen color so they can change the color and what's on the child's head, face, and body. Do y'all pick up what I'm putting down? Nickelodeon is sick. These like, it's never, when we find out the truth of the world, and right now, everything is being exposed. Here in the last like 10 years, it's like everything has never been what it seemed. They do it so they can make this look like you know what. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even know if you can say it on TikTok in correlation to what I'm saying, but they make it look like, you know, like the baby stuff, the stuff that makes babies. And that way, when these sick and twisted directors and people who go and do all this, they can look at it as if it's that thing versus it actually being slime. That's why they're obsessed with it. That was why. That was why.
I know who's behind Bitcoin, and it ain't some fucking Japanese guy in a cave.
attention to this clip.
This is good, chat.
Now, before y'all go in the comments, did y'all see the demon look at the video? Now, the girl had to double back and look back herself like, did I see what I just see? Yes, she did. So she happened to look back like, did anybody else notice the man in the video? Now, y'all, look now. That looks like some Chucky, Jeepers Creepers, I Know What You Did Last Summer video. Yo, I think I would have picked up all my stuff and I would have just stopped recording, stopped streaming, and I would have been going. Nah, she looked like she was somewhere eating inside of like the mall area or something like that, like she was eating. My food would have been ruined. My whole day would have just been, what? I need a part 2. We need a part 2 because who was the man? Y'all let me know in the comments. Y'all let me know in the comments. I'll call y'all back.
Why do most of these concerts feel like rituals now? Demonic rituals. This is Gunna's recent show. And what do you notice about this show? Yeah, that's right. It is a demonic ritual. And most of these concerts anymore feel like demonic rituals. Specifically, these secular concerts feel like demonic rituals. And there is a reason for that. Because these concerts are designed as a way of harvesting your energy. Yeah, this isn't just a conspiracy. This is why they use certain visuals like you see right here on screen. This is why, because these artists are literally harvesting your energy if you choose to go to these shows, these certain shows. This is why stuff like this is happening. This is truly, truly demonic. If you can't see that, I don't know what else to really say. What do you think?
Back in the VMAs, Miley Cyrus was hosting VMAs. She was like doing a call out to everybody in the crowd. They're like, oh, we got The Weeknd.
Oh yeah,
we got Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
And then one of them, she said, shout out ASAP Rocker.
Oh, ASAP Rocker. Yeah.
ASAP Rocker.
Yeah, but
yo.
And then he went like,
yeah. And then ASAP Rocky's like, stop it. So there's a Mandela effect.
What?
With ASAP Rocky. Check this out. What do you remember?
What he was wearing?
No, not even that. Plot twist, she never said ASAP Rocker.
No.
Yeah, she never said ASAP Rocker.
No.
Everyone from our era, we all remember that.
What the f did she say then?
Look, listen.
No, there's gotta be AI.
I like your swoop. The Weeknd.
See, The Weeknd.
Yeah.
And they're all cheesed. Remember this?
Yeah.
And ASAP Rocky.
ASAP Rocky. She just said ASAP Rocky.
People are freaking out after finding out what sleep paralysis actually is. You wake up, you can't move, you can't speak, but there is something in the corner of your room or laying on your bed. It's not a dream, you're not waking up, you swear it is real, you can feel it, hear it, and even touch it sometimes. Some of you may have been unlucky enough to actually experience sleep paralysis, but this is what it actually is. There is a lot of factors that can cause and heighten it, things such as depression and anxiety, but it actually happens when your brain is stuck in something called REM atonia. Your body has a lot of different stages of sleep. REM is the one where you are dreaming, but here your body gets stuck. When you're in the REM stage of sleep, your muscles shut down so that you can relax and recover, of course. So what sleep paralysis actually is when you're in that stage of sleep and your muscles are completely shut down, but your mind suddenly wakes up randomly, you can't move. But your dreams are still happening because you've woken up too early, but you can't move, your body's still shut down, but it projects it into the real world so it literally is real. It's essentially your brain mixing nightmare imagery with your actual bedroom, but you can't move, and that's why it feels like there's someone sitting on your chest.
This is not what you're supposed to hear from supposedly the happiest place on earth. And that's why you need to listen up. Something weird is happening at Disney, and y'all cannot ignore this. 5 people have died at the World Disney Resort within a month. And the latest one that happened, it happened at the Saratoga Spring Resort on November 8th. People are saying that's a quiet resort, and you would never expect something like that to happen, let alone at Disney, because like they said, it's the happiest place on earth. Nobody's saying Disney is not safe. But when the same theme park keep having incidents happen within a short time period, people gonna start asking questions. And rightfully so. Because it's a little weird. It's becoming a little weird. Once, twice maybe, but 5? It's crazy how life works. Some people say they unalived themselves. Maybe they did. But why go to a happy place to do that? It's weird. Or if it's natural, just imagine you go to a place where you vacation at with your family, make memories, have fun, and then that's the last place you ever was alive. Y'all let me know.
Not many people know this, but there was a man who could not stop getting struck by lightning for 40 years, and the problem got so bad that he ended himself, and the story just gets way crazier from there. Roy Sullivan was a park ranger at Shenandoah National Park in Virginia in the 1940s, but he also might be the unluckiest man in history, because one day in 1942 at work, while he was up in a lookout tower surveying the grounds, a lightning storm started, which was common, but this time something extremely odd happened. Lightning started to strike the tower, and Roy counted 7 to 8 strikes before he decided to finally leave the cabin and make a break for it. But when he did that, he got struck by lightning, which knocked him unconscious, blew off his big toenail, burned his leg, and set his hair on fire. But then another extremely odd thing happened. In 1969, 27 years later, Roy was driving his truck through the park when lightning struck a tree, bounced off of it, into his truck window, and hit him in the head, knocking him unconscious and setting his hair and his eyebrows on fire. But the interesting thing is that whereas the first lightning strike was very traumatic for him, the second time he started to think about the logistical problems. Like, for instance, how massively inconvenient it is to have to regrow your hair and eyebrows. So from that point on, he started to carry around a bucket of water with him everywhere he went, which turned out to be an incredibly smart move because only a year later in 1970, he was sitting on his front porch and lightning struck a power transformer, which arced and hit him in the shoulder, setting his hair on fire again, which he actually doused out with the water. And then from 1972 to 1977, he was struck 4 more times by lightning. In 1972, he was struck through an open door in his house. In 1973, he was struck while out on a patrol route. In 1976, he was struck while on a trail. And in 1977, he was struck while fishing on a lake. And each time, his hair caught on fire and he doused it out with his bucket of water, which was the greatest investment of his entire life. And also during that last lightning strike in 1977, Roy Sullivan said that after he got struck on his way home, he was approached by a bear who wanted to take his fish that he had caught, and he had to fight it off with a stick. The lightning strikes were confirmed by a doctor, but there's no way of proving that story. We just kind of have to take his word on it. Throughout the 1970s and early 80s, Roy Sullivan became somewhat of a local legend. He actually ended up writing a book, and he got into the Guinness Book of World Records for most amount of time struck by lightning. But unfortunately, he ended up kind of feeling like he couldn't escape the curse and didn't want to spend another 20 to 30 years getting struck by lightning all the time, and so he actually ended his life in 1983 at the age of 71. He was referenced in the game Firewatch, though, and will forever serve as a cautionary tale to exercise extreme safety precautions during lightning storms. And real quick, if you like my videos and you want to see more in-depth writing from me about movies, TV shows, pop culture, strange facts, and fascinating history, you can do that here.
I don't know why this dude didn't try the lottery. They say you have more of a chance of winning the lottery than getting struck by lightning. And this dude got struck like 100 times. So I think he was due for a win somewhere. But this story is actually really sad. I could not imagine going through my life not knowing if I'm going to be struck by lightning every single day. And this dude literally carried around a bucket of water from how many times he got struck by lightning. Grandpa, why do you carry around a giant bucket of water? He's like, oh, because I just casually get struck by lightning.
I'm not gonna lie to y'all. This whole DC situation feel weird as fuck now. So boom. 2 National Guard members get shot in broad day. And the first reports that came out was they were unalive. Now, they're coming out saying those reports were false and that they're in critical condition, they're still alive. So, which one is it? They said the mayor was the one who came with these false statements that they were unalive. But that's not even the craziest part, y'all. So now, Trump decides to send 500 more National Guard members to DC. But for what though? I'm hearing you got some military trucks rolling around, you got barricades, and I'm just sitting there like, for what? This don't feel regular. Is this a regular response, y'all? Let me know. And what I'm really trying to understand is, what is it with the 500 soldier military surge in DC? Is it because of this shooting? Is it because they know more than what they're telling us? What the f is going on, y'all?
They capture a mermaid on video. This family was vacationing, but they were not expected to be right next to a mermaid. One of them decided to take this short video where you can see it very clearly. Do you think this is possibly how mermaids look like?
Wait, did you hear what he just said? Just listen to this because it exposes something on stream.
How old are you? I low-key stopped counting.
Yeah, how do you look so young? What's your secret?
For anyone who missed it, right here, it sounds like he's saying blood. Keep watching.
How do you look so young? What's your secret?
And this isn't the first time that he's brought it up. Remember when MGK and Megan said this line?
It's just a few drops, but yes, we do consume each other's blood on occasion for...
Everyone thought they were joking, but what if they weren't? And here's the part that gives me chills. This happened on Aiden Ross's stream. The same circle where streamers keep hinting at selling their soul. Every time they laugh, but it's not really funny, is it? If you think this story is wild, watch these two videos. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below.
Bro, just drink water and eat broccoli. It's really not that hard. You don't gotta drink your wife's blood. That's kind of just like disturbing. Like if the right woman ever does come my way, I'm never gonna be like, oh, you know, I'm really thirsty. Can I have some of your blood? Like, yeah, Sean, you're such a romantic dude. Thank you. Thank you for that relationship advice.
Literally everyone in the world right now is starting to throw away their glass straws because of that one glass straw video. For those of you that may not have seen that one glass straw video, it was posted by this lady right here when she was in the emergency room when she recorded her video, and she was letting everyone know to throw away all their glass straws. She was telling everyone this because she was actually using a glass straw to drink a drink when she actually felt herself swallow something sharp, and she looked down at her glass straw and noticed that it just randomly broke and she had no idea, and she had to be rushed to the emergency room. The piece of glass that she swallowed could have done some serious damage, but thankfully she was able to make it to the emergency room in time and everything ended up being okay. But now no one wants to have any of those glass straws in their households just because of that happening. And honestly, I don't blame anyone.
This pastor reportedly farts directly into people's nostrils as a healing process to cure all spiritual and physical problems. Pastor Christ Penelope of Sevenfold Holy Spirit Ministries went viral after reports and photos surfaced showing him farting directly into people's faces. A viral photo shows him literally sitting on people's heads. People claim that he positions himself so that the fart goes straight into their nostrils because, according to the pastor, farting in a person's nostrils is important so that the healing power can enter the body and do its work. He has defended this bizarre ritual by comparing it to the moment in Genesis where God put Adam into a deep sleep before creating Eve, saying that the person he sits on is in that same kind of spiritual sleep, so therefore they don't feel anything. He also argues that the Bible never says Adam complained or said, "God, you're hurting me," so his followers shouldn't complain either naturally. Shockingly, many people reportedly wait up to 2 months just to get the chance to be farted on. And some followers even collect his farts in containers. Former church members have said they only came for prayer and deliverance, not to get their face farted on, and what he's doing is obviously unbiblical. But Penelope has reacted to the criticism by denying that he's doing anything wrong, insisting, "I don't fart on people, I heal people," and claiming the outrage only comes from people who don't understand how God can work through the human body in ways that might look strange. Do you think these people deserve to get farted on if they fall for this?
Well, obviously this is legal for some weird reason, but I think we should still throw him in jail because my eyeballs are very disturbed from what I just watched. So, you know, if not for what he's doing, for the sake of all the trauma that he just caused me and all of us watching this video, because I know you all just watched what I watched, and I wish I could take that time back, but unfortunately we can't. So, you know, this is like a support group now. We're going to talk through it, and let's just move on to the next clip because I don't ever want to think about that ever again.
Scariest conspiracy theories that will seriously change your life. You ever had a memory before that feels extremely vivid, like you 100% remember it, but it never actually happened? A lot of people get this. They might say, oh, I've been on holiday to this location, but actually haven't, although you clearly remember it in your mind. Most of you probably know the theory of parallel universes by now. I'll recap quickly. Essentially, the theory that there are parallel universes out there exactly the same as ours, where we basically exist as well, but things play out slightly differently. For instance, you may walk over the road here and be fine. In another parallel universe, you may be hit by a car. Now, this is known as memory slippage. Great name for a theory, I know. But basically suggests that when you get a memory that you are crystal clear happened, but it didn't, it's your alternate version of yourself having that memory and it's slipping through. If you are on the bandwagon that does believe in parallel universes like genuinely, then this does kind of make quite a lot of sense, because there could be infinite parallel universes out there and you could have infinite memories of things that never happened to you but happened over there. I'm not too sure on the whole parallel universe thing, but it does make sense in some kind of capacity. See you in the next one.
Yo, there was a viral video on TikTok, actually. And this woman, she went to a thrift store. And she was making videos. She says, oh, look, I'm at this Value Village and I see all of these different pasta. I'm thinking I'm gonna make a nice pasta dish. I think I'm gonna use this one. So she documents her whole, I guess, cooking, taking those bottles that she found at the thrift store, made the pasta, ate it. In the next videos that she's posted, fam, her face swelled up like a balloon.
Oh my god.
And she went to the hospital. She was hospitalized.
Yeah, well, she was using Value Village pots and pans, right?
It was, the pasta, like the actual,
You can buy pasta at a Value Village?
Fam, it wasn't even supposed to be eaten.
She treats this doll as if it's alive. So there's this woman on TikTok that takes her doll out and treats it as if it's a live child. She'll do things like put it in a car seat and go and get Happy Meals for it that she then feeds to the doll. Now, a lot of these videos with the doll are incredibly disturbing, like this one, where she uses an audio that implies that the doll stabs people. And then there's her other videos where she treats the doll as if it's alive and what she's doing is completely normal. Now, in her profile picture, she has pictures of what appears to be real children. So I don't know if she actually has kids and just doesn't make videos with them. For all I know, the way she treats the dolls could be some kind of trauma response, so please treat her with care.
Finally tonight here, James Longman with a stunning look inside the newest archaeological museum in the world, right there in the shadow of the pyramids.
Tonight, the wonders of ancient Egypt reborn for the modern world. The Grand Egyptian Museum, finally complete, decades in the making. It's the world's largest archaeological museum, some 100,000 artifacts, celebrating 7,000 years of ancient civilization. And its crowning glory only now revealed, the golden treasures of King Tutankhamun, Egypt's most famous pharaoh. 103 years to the day since his tomb was discovered, all 5,000 artifacts found alongside his mummified body are now on public display for the very first time, and we were some of the first to see. Among them, King Tut's funeral mask.
This is what millions of people will come to see, one of the most important and recognizable artifacts in all of human history.
The exhibit, a journey from mummification to the extraordinary treasures.
You know, I'm not an architect or anything, but I think y'all are in for some very bad luck, because what do you mean you just opened this dude's tomb? I'm pretty sure it was stored like that for a reason, and you know, whatever you just opened, that's all you, bro. You can keep that over there. I don't want none of that. So saying if you go there and then you go home and then King Tut is walking around your kitchen, hey man, that's your fault, bro. You better make him some breakfast or he's gonna be real cranky with you.
Not many people know this, but in the 1990s, there was a conspiracy theorist with a public access show where he ranted about crazy crackpot theories every single day, and nobody took him seriously. But then after he died, it turned out he was right about everything. In the late 80s and throughout the 1990s, there was a man named Clay Tiffany who had a public access TV show called Dirge of the Charlatans, where he would sit for hours on end and just rant and ramble about all kinds of conspiracy theories about elite government corruption within the city. He would talk about judges laundering money through nonprofits and NYPD officers falsifying crimes to throw people in jail, and members of the NYPD acting as roving gangs and enforcers for the mob. But then something happened to Clay Tiffany. In March of 1997, he was pulled over by an NYPD officer named Nick Tartagliani, who said that he had seen Clay Tiffany's show and wanted him to stop talking about the NYPD, and that he was connected to the mob, and if he didn't show up, he would have him taken care of. Or at least this is what Tiffany claimed the following day on his show, where he talked about the incident. And as Clay Tiffany claims, the next day after this broadcast, Nick Tartagliani showed up at his house, threw him against his police cruiser, arrested him, and brought him in on some made-up disturbing the peace charge. But Clay Tiffany was not going to be bullied, and he would not give up. So the next several years on his show, he did a full investigation of Nick Tartagliani, sending in a bunch of requests with the Freedom of Information Act to the government to get documents about him. him, and he dug up a ton of dirt, like multiple police brutality reports, a bunch of excessive force complaints, and unexplained departures from dozens of his previous police jobs. And in response, Clay Tiffany claims that he was attacked and brutalized by Nick Tartaglione and his cop buddies multiple times throughout those years. The first incident, he was attacked outside of his home again. The second incident, he was thrown to the pavement and beaten outside of a town meeting. And the third incident, he was beaten so badly that he was hospitalized for weeks. Tiffany ended up suing Nick Tartaglione. He didn't win, but there was an undisclosed sum settled out of court. But more importantly, he had lost any credibility that he ever possibly had because of these repeat accusations of Nick Tartaglione, and people started actively calling for his public access show to end. So in the early 2000s, that's exactly what happened. The show ended and Clay Tiffany disappeared from public life. And in 2015, he died from heart failure. But in 2016, Nick Tartaglione was arrested for the execution-style murder of 4 men in a drug trafficking job gone wrong. Clay Tiffany was right. Nick Tartaglione was mob connected, he was corrupt, and him and his buddies were running as enforcers for the mob within the NYPD. And what's even crazier is that Nick Tartaglione was at one point Jeffrey Epstein's cellmate and the last person to ever see him alive that we know of. And real quick, if you like my videos and you want to see more in-depth writing from me about pop culture, movies, TV, video games, weird historical facts, so on and so forth, you can do that here.
Just last week, 26-year-old Bethany McGee was riding the Blue Line in Chicago when a stranger walked up, poured a flammable liquid on her, and set her on fire. Police say 50-year-old Lawrence Reed didn't say a word before igniting her, then chased her through the train car as she burned and screamed. She soon stumbled out of the train with devastating, life-threatening burns while other commuters simply watched in horror. Reed was arrested minutes later and hit with federal terrorism charges, and that's when the most infuriating details began to surface. Court records show he'd been arrested at least 72 times over 3 decades, including assaults, arson, attacks on social workers, and other violent charges, yet was still out on electronic monitoring at the time of the attack. Prosecutors even revealed he had a pending aggravated battery case from earlier this year for attacking a hospital employee, showing a pattern of escalating violence that no one managed to stop. Bethany's friends later described her as a gentle, soft-spoken woman, an honor student, an animal lover, and someone who greeted everyone with kindness, making the randomness and brutality of the attack even harder to comprehend. The case has sparked national outrage over how someone with a rap sheet that long was free to carry out such a horrific attack, while Bethany remains in critical condition.
Have you seen that influencer everyone's saying might be in serious danger right now? There's this girl who goes by the name Flo. She used to just post fun, light-hearted videos, and for a while everything seemed totally normal. But then people in the comments started pointing out that weird stuff was happening in the background of her clips. Every now and then, behind a door, you can see random people in the background who look like they're watching her. That's how this whole theory started, that maybe she's being forced to film this content. One viewer even commented, "Wear a pink t-shirt in your next video if you're in danger." And guess what happened next? In the very next clip, she really was wearing pink. People freaked out and flooded the comments again, asking her to wear a different color shirt in the next video if she needed help. And the creepiest part is that she kept doing it. Over and over, she would wear exactly what people asked for in the comments, which only made her followers more suspicious. Her viewers started digging even deeper and decided that the phrase she says at the beginning of every video might actually be some kind of secret SOS signal.
Kaku kaku! Kaku kaku!
Y'all remember Tom Holland's humiliation ritual? He dressed up like a woman, he dressed up like a maid, and was performing Rihanna's Umbrella song. While it was very funny for a lot of people, this was his humiliation ritual. Y'all think you get to be Spider-Man, the best Spider-Man we've ever seen, without some type of sacrifice? Satan always comes to collect, okay? That's just how it is in Hollywood. And typically he collects by having them do some type of humiliation ritual. For men, most of the time, it's something very feminine or something very emasculating, something to take away from their masculinity. Now, I don't have nothing against Tom Holland, but what's on the wall is on the wall. You can look around and you can see it with every celebrity that when they don't comply, guess what? The contract runs out, they either get or you never see them in anything else again. So they have to pay up. Don't think it's all fun and games when people get that high up in the world and get that famous and get all that money. It always comes with some type of consequence or ritual. In the end, you always have to pay Satan back. I know a lot of you are going to be like, oh no, you're reaching. It was funny. It was this, it was that. I want you to look around. I also want you to look around the industry and see how many men have came out and said that they want the men to wear dresses and dress up like women and be very feminine and all these for a humiliation ritual. Go and do your own research for yourself. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because I just saw it again recently on Facebook, and I'm just like, dude, that was his humiliation ritual. That's the reason why, you know, eventually he had to come up and pay. He's the biggest Spider-Man in the world, guys.
You could tell this is a humiliation ritual because this dude already has so much success. Like, he does not gain or benefit from any of this. So the fact that he dressed up like a girl and started dancing, it just shows you he's being controlled by somebody to do this, because I don't know any grown man that would willingly do this.
Major breaking news in the case of David and Celeste. We are now learning that a grand jury is officially involved in the investigation, and that is huge because it is a big step towards finally getting an arrest. Authorities have now come out and said that prosecutors have begun presenting evidence to an investigative grand jury, and let me tell you what that means. So when prosecutors begin the process of presenting evidence to an investigative grand jury, it means that a formal secret inquiry is underway to determine if there is enough probable cause to formally charge someone with a serious crime. And the goal is to decide whether to issue an indictment, which is a formal written accusation that a person has committed a crime. After the formal investigation and determining the probable cause, the next big step is initiating prosecution with a formal written charge. And the other big thing is that according to court documents obtained by the Times, one detectives internally described the case as an investigation into murder. And this is also huge because it further confirms that they are looking into this as a crime and not a possibility that she did this to herself like they previously said, and they are looking to charge someone or some people. Rest in peace to Celeste. Let me know what you guys think about this, and as always, I'll keep you guys updated.
There's something terrifying happening in public places. Crowds go silent, not quieter, completely silent, like someone muted the world. There's a phenomenon people around the world are reporting, and it's called the missing crowd noise event. And once it happens to you, you'll never feel safe in a crowd again. It always starts the same way. You're in a busy place, a mall, an airport, school hallway, a stadium, hundreds of voices, footsteps, music, the usual chaos. And then, without warning, everything goes silent instantly. It's not your hearing, it's not your mind, it's like someone hit the mute button on reality. One woman at a grocery store said she bent down to pick something up, and when she stood up, total silence. Dozens of people walking past her, mouths moving, carts rolling, but no sound. Not even her own breathing. A teenager in Tokyo reported the same thing in a subway station. But here's where it gets disturbing. Every person says the silence isn't natural. It feels intentional, like the world is listening or adjusting. A man in Chicago said he tried clapping during one of these events, and the sound didn't return. His hands made contact, but there was no noise, and everyone around him turned their heads at the same time, as if reacting to something he couldn't hear. Scientists blame auditory processing lapses. Psychologists blame disassociation. But none of these explain why cameras capture the silence, microphones pick up nothing during the event, even animals freeze right before it happens. And it always lasts exactly 6 seconds. Never more, never less. The leading theory is you're witnessing a moment where the simulation reloads the audio environment, recalibrating background noise, resetting sensory data. If you're ever in a crowded place and everything suddenly goes silent, don't move, just wait, because something else might be moving around you. Stay weird.
What the hell is going on this planet? According to NASA, an underwater volcano nicknamed Sharkano erupted yesterday and released mutant sharks. Now, mind you, these sharks have been surviving. Let me say that again. Living and surviving in that volcano, in that acidic, hot-ass water. And now they loose. It's like every day we get another movie to play with. Now, what kind of movie is this? Sharknado? So 2024, basically what you're saying is, first, the drones, then it's too many dens to go through. So we have mutant sharks swimming around in these waters. What's next? It's another reason why I say I'm never going on no more cruises. I done went on all the cruises I'm gonna go on. I'm not swimming in no nothing. I ain't going to no beaches. I'm not doing none of that. Because for this shit to be going on, it's something crazy. My question to scientists and the people who know about this, how were these sharks surviving in those type of conditions? We wouldn't be able to survive there. Let me ask you a question. Are the sharks the ill? I ain't gonna say it. I'm out.
I think this is my sign to go to bed, because what do you mean there's mutant lava sharks? Like, bro, like, they just be creating anything. I'm going to bed, bro. I'm just going to bed. Thank you guys for watching the video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your favorite part of the video made you tremble in your boots, and we're going to be on to the next one. Thank you.